Oh my God, what the hell is this? He's gonna try it! And will this be enough? My God, how do you take it?
What's up, everyone? I did bad on that production part, but here are our faces. There we go. Happy New Year, everyone. We are live in 2025. Yes, I came up with that title in like 2 seconds, and I don't care. I liked it, so I put it on there. Really not a whole lot of news to go around. So what me and Justin are going to do is kind of go over of our opinions on the year-end lists that have come out recently. But other than that, my tag team partner in this journey, Justin Toner, how are we doing in 2025 so far?
Not bad so far. I mean, the year just started. Glad that 24 is a rear mirror, and hopefully looking forward to a good year here.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be very interesting. It's like wrestling-wise, we'll see what, because 2024 was quite the year. You know, lots of ups, some downs. Especially when it came to AEW, unfortunately. But and all there is, WWE had plenty of their own. Rumbles are coming up. We got Raw debut on Netflix, and let's look forward to just within the next couple weeks.
Yeah, I mean, AEW match quality was great. Storylines, that's beside the point. WWE. The women's division still not the greatest. As far as the women's division in AEW is not that great either. But as far as just what WWE could have done better, I mean, Gunther's title run so far has been pretty blah compared to his Intercontinental, and I think that's just how it's being booked. So those are kind of some of the bad things that stuck out to me. Anything involving Chris Jericho. Those type of things. But then again, you had finishing the story. You had, the AJ Styles and Cody Rhodes match over in France, and that was electric crowd. Like this was the 2024 was a year of the crowd to me,
especially overseas crowds, man.
Yeah,
I mean, the crowd in Australia for Elimination Chamber was awesome. They helped launch TV Time. It's like. Then you had the crowd for France for Backlash, and then in Scotland for Clash of the Castle. And it went back to England. Had Survivor Series over in Vancouver. So, it's like those international crowds were really something. Same with All In Wembley again this year. It's like, so they don't get to see this kind of stuff as much. It's like they really appreciate what they get. Help elevating those not so big of the big pay-per-views, make it feel a little bit more special.
Gotcha. Yep. So kind of going over some of the list here. Bleacher Report released their top 10, and they just did WWE. And I don't think they realize NXT exists in WWE because we'll get to the women's part in a second. But at number 10, they had Kevin Owens, 9, Sami Zayn, 8, Randy Orton, 7, Jey Uso, 6, Seth Rollins, 5, Roman Reigns, 4, Damian Priest, 3, Gunther, 2, Drew McIntyre, and 1, Cody Rhodes. Now, you have to put Cody in that spot, but I would say Drew and him are 1A, 1B to me.
Pretty much. Them being number 1 and number 2 is what I'm perfectly fine with, because Cody finally won the WWE Championship at WrestleMania, and he's been champion up until as of tonight. He's still champ, despite what Kevin Owens says. Yeah. Carrying around the Wing Eagle belt.
He has the better looking title.
He does have the better looking title, but he stole it.
He stole it. But this is the Kevin Owens. This is the Kevin Owens that we love. So
but he had his big moment at Mania that he deserved and earned, and he's been carrying the company ever since. Yep. But right behind him, it was Drew McIntyre just just absolutely killed it this past year with his feud with CM Punk was the feud of the year. One of the best feuds we've seen in a long time in wrestling.
Yeah.
It was epic. His work on social media is like, there's not many that can match the trolling that he can do online. Just his game just went completely up into a new level this past year, and I couldn't be happier as a fan of Drew McIntyre.
Yeah, he had the most. He created the most meme that I've used. Is I pray for it and it happened.
Mm-hmm.
Like that. That's my meme of wrestling memes of 2024. That's the one. I prayed for it and it happened. As far as feud of the year, I would say that is number one, but I would say number two would be Hangman and Swerve.
Absolutely.
That's number two. Tony and Mariah, slight in the top 10. For sure on that.
The whole storyline was well done.
Yeah, I'm not thinking off the top of my head, ladies and gentlemen. So I just if I'm missing something, fine. Those are the ones that stick out to me. Were there any other feuds that really stuck? I mean, I guess Cody and The Rock, kind of. Because
Because
him and Roman, that really wasn't a feud. It was just more of Roman's has the thing that he wants, more than it was a feud between Roman and him.
I would say Cody versus Kevin Owens feud, but that feud isn't over yet, and it's still going on. So into this year, but that's been really entertaining. Well, there was some other good feuds in
Osprey and Fletcher.
Yeah,
but that
they got
not on the level of what the other ones we just named.
But the Tony Storm Mariah May storyline leading up to her turning on Tony and their match and everything, and that's not completely over because Tony being back and acting like she doesn't remember being timeless Tony Storm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Can't forget about this. The Osprey MJF nearly 1 hour match for the international title on Dynamite when MJF beat him with 3 seconds left before the time limit expired by clocking him with the ring when the ref wasn't paying attention and pinning him. And both men having to get oxygen afterwards. Fantastic stuff. That was one of the matches of the year.
And still just every time you do a type of Iron Man match like that, I remember when Sean and Brett did the first one, and they were even like Brett was even saying, "It's like how are we going to keep the crowd engaged for freaking 60 minutes?" They did that on a television show with breaks and stuff. So
yeah, it's not easy to do on a 1 hour long match, but it's like those guys pulled it off. It's like,
but yeah, I would say my male wrestler of the year overall, as far as in ring, Will Ospreay. But as far as overall story and everything of that nature, I would have to say Cody. He
literally saved the World's End pay-per-view from being met with putting on not one but two bangers, which we'll get to.
But I did like the Mercedes Chris Statlander.
We'll get absolutely.
I will say that, but yeah, that would be my male wrestler of the year as far as accolades and carrying the company and stuff like that. I would put Cody a little bit higher than Will, but those
I
are
think
my
I'll go with GIF. I think the MJF Ospreay was probably the best TV match, free match on TV this past year on either company. Can't think of many that happened on WWE TV that would come close.
I really enjoyed the Monsters match with
Strowman, the last Monster standing. Strowman and Bronson.
I enjoyed the way they booked that ending, and it was so good. And that had every reason to be just a crapshoot, and it was very, very solid. Yeah, so that's what that sticks out to me. I mean, any Will Ospreay match was really good. And GIF, if you can remember any other any triple threats, trios matches that they did in AEW are always really good as far as TV matches.
I've seen it on Playable's top tens. Maybe not always number one, but it was definitely, I thought was number one match, just because of it was the culmination of the feud and the storyline was Hell in a Cell between CM Punk and Drew McIntyre. Because I understand that ended the feud decisively, and it delivered everything that we would hope for. Because it's like we wanted them to be in the cell to blow off the feud, it happened, and they did it all inside the cell. They didn't leave the cell, and they both bled like stuck pigs.
And they brought back the aura of
the aura of Hell in the Cell as this is a match that you use to end a feud, not just to have a match.
Worst feud of the year is off of my what I can remember is MJF and Adam Cole.
Absolutely, worst feud of the year was definitely Cole and
I can't believe I'm saying those two wrestlers.
I know, me too.
I adore.
I'm glad it's over.
Love those dudes.
But
I'm glad it's over.
They're moving on.
Yeah, but that would probably be the one that was worst feud of the year.
Such a
Chris Jericho versus anyone. That was the worst feud.
Oh, the Learning Tree and Jericho Vertex.
But my honestly though, I mean, I get what you're saying with CM Punk and Drew and everything culmination, but it's Ospreay Daniels.
I mean, you can make arguments in other matches that would be like the match of the year, but there's no question that's like top 10, top 5.
Oh yeah, for sure. But you have Ospreay and Danielson, and then Swerve and Ospreay. Those two was when you because that Ospreay Swerve match.
Cody versus Roman at Mania was epic.
Yeah,
you know, even with the shenanigans, it worked for the story.
Oh yeah, no, that's definitely the top 5. And the reason I like the Swerve Ospreay one is because that was, even though Swerve and Hangman's feud was so great, that was when you realized Swerve's arrived. Like this is we've got our superstar. We got someone that can, if Ospreay's on the shelf or anything like that, we can all right, Swerve, you got us. And ever since then, I mean, now I'm actually excited to see what Ricochet's doing with him, just because Swerve has that level of I'm gonna watch and what Swerve does. So I put it that one there. And then Willow Nightingale and Chris Statlander's
the street fight, that was dope. That was one that definitely. That was one of the best Blaze matches of the year, period.
Yeah. And any match that Roxanne Perez was in. Yep, that's pretty much it. Just that's that 60-10. It's like 12, right?
I think of all her title defenses, I think her versus Jordan Grace was probably the best.
Yeah. Hers was against Jordan Grace.
Not saying the other ones weren't good. Like the Thea Hale one at Great American Bash was dope.
That was what I was kind of leaning to.
That's probably the only one I would say that would be like it would be between those two were like the top best like Roxanne title defenses.
Yeah. Because the reason because her and Thea are kind of the same size and they kind of do the same skill set, so they were able to really work well together. But yeah, no, that Jordan Grace Roxanne one is definitely of the Roxanne matches.
The Lola Vice one was good. The one against Jada Parker was very good. The first one against Julia was I didn't feel like I felt it was fine, but I didn't feel like it gave enough time. Hopefully, even though we'll see coming next week on New Year's Eve. Well, hopefully they're gonna get some more time. We'll see.
Still not ready.
I know you're not ready. But it's like I know you want Roxanne to keep the title, but it's like it would be like HBK. What the fuck are you doing if you're gonna build Julia up to get this rematch and hype it up only for her to job again?
No. I saw some troll account saying that Scott D'Amore is now going to be head of NXT Creative, and HBK and Triple H are going to just run SmackDown and Raw. I'm like, okay, yeah, you almost had me there for a second.
What's
AEW? We're doing welcome in. We're just talking about just kind of recap in 2024 real quick. I kind of went over Bleacher Report's ranks the top 10 men WWE, and then their top 10 women. They didn't put Roxanne, so it's irrelevant.
Yeah, but I want to give a shout out to NXT for some banger matches this past year. Not just the Roxanne ones, but like the one that the fans voted for match of the year on the NXT Awards definitely was one of the best matches. The Obafemi versus Josh Briggs versus Dijak at Stand and Deliver. That for the North American title, that match fucking cooked. Trick versus Ilya Dragunov was awesome.
Yes. Fraxium versus Chase U a couple times.
What do you think of the best Fraxium title defense was? The first when they lost to the tag titles to Chase U, or when they won them back?
No, it was when there's the Rascals match.
The Rascals match was pretty dope.
Yeah, that was. That, I mean, obviously, I just like that style that the Rascals do, and I'm big.
Mhm.
Obviously, I'm a big Rascals fan.
Yeah.
So, and I knew that those four were gonna cook anyway, just because again, styles are very similar. But
It's like I can agree with it's like yeah, it's
did they name them on NXT? I don't know if have they named that trio? Yeah.
Oh no, they don't have like a name.
Okay.
It's kind of just like an alliance right now. Shotzi, Gigi, and Tatum Paxley.
Yeah.
They haven't given themselves a name or anything like that, because I don't know if they're gonna. It's a long term kind of thing. It's more about just trying to counteract fatal influence.
Yeah.
I need to drink.
And then I saw here. I don't know if anyone's go on Twitter and just type in Omos over in Japan and see him walking, towering over everyone. It's
props to
cool
Omos for he's doing pretty well over in Noah.
That was my question. Like I've been seeing good things. I don't know what'd you say?
Didn't he just win the tag titles with somebody?
He did. I haven't really. I was seeing what you've seen. For what I've seen, it's doing really well. Yeah, he's doing really well.
I really like that they're sending people over there to get some that like that. A lot of people have benefited, like Tavion Heights.
Tavion Heights definitely did.
Yeah,
Briggs
Tavion is like gotten a real good.
Briggs was already pretty good, but Tavion definitely like he's leaps and bounds better now since he went over there.
Yeah.
On that. Obviously, Fraxium is tag team of the year. I mean, that's on everybody's list.
No question.
A couple people put out the Young Bucks. I'm like, no,
so many banger
Fraxium.
title defenses. It's like it's like the one against Deadline with against No Quarter Catch Crew. It's like that just kept getting better and better, because I was thinking are they finally gonna lose? Like, oh my god,
yeah.
What a run they've had.
Yeah, but I was obviously at Roxanne and Tony are my 1A, 1B when it comes to female wrestlers of the year.
Timeless Tony just absolutely killed it this year.
Mm-hmm.
With her character work, and she had some really good matches too. I also want to give props to Mercedes. I mean, like it started out a bit rough in AEW, but her last couple of matches, especially against Statlander, have been awesome. So I think she's finally getting back into a good groove over there. Liv, got to give her props for the character work she's done as world champion. Yeah,
I know. Not a lot of people are like. It depends on what other shows you watch. But some people are like, it's night and day of how people feel about Liv.
I was really happy about how the rise of Tiffany Stratton, Tiffy Time. It's just the booking of the Money in the Bank briefcase lately is getting ripped. Just let her cash in. Stop with the teasing. Just give her the fucking title.
Just have Rhea and
for the love of God.
Have her watch. It's the Liv Rhea finally. It's over, and then Tiffy cashes in. And
pardon my outburst. I'm just really this one that was on SmackDown, which we're gonna get to. We got just made me.
Yeah. Well, it's just we're so over it. It's like quit doing it every single episode. It doesn't make any.
Yeah, that's the problem. It's like they keep doing it almost every other week. It's like. You're over. It's overkill.
Yeah. I don't really care for that.
Another great women's match was Bayley Io at WrestleMania.
Yes. I was getting ready to bring up Io Sky and how great of a year.
Mercedes versus Stephanie Vaquer was a banger at Forbidden Door, which was the match that made WWE go, let's go grab her before AEW does.
Right.
Which was a smart decision.
But yeah,
and then there's what we've seen, besides Roxanne, what we've seen in the women's division NXT has just been the last couple months crazy with the arrivals of Stephanie McCurr, Julia, Zarya, the emergence of a lot of great talent like Sol Rucka, Jada Parker, Lola Vice, Fallon Hennig. It's crazy. Kalani Jordan. Thea Hale is still.
Where are you, Thea?
I'm wondering where the rest of GCU is. Right? We'll talk about that when we get to NXT. But yeah, the amount of women's talent in NXT right now is crazy.
Yeah, it is. We can talk about Randy Orton. He still got it. I mean,
we got to give props to Chelsea. Her work this year has been fantastic.
She's over.
It was between her. Like the fans were like, he wanted either her or Tiffany to win Money in the Bank. It's like they were that over, and it's like the fact that Chelsea got to become the first women's U.S. champion shows the faith that Triple H has in her work this year. So I'm really happy for her. She's earned it. Randy Orton came this past year after coming back from injury. Absolutely killed it. Both of his matches against Gunther at King of the Ring and then at Bash in Berlin, fucking bangers with Gunther, man. It's like he's been killing it this year, especially the character work, the whole storyline with him and KO and everything. The teases of him potentially turning on Cody, just great stuff.
Yeah, and then and you can tell the maturity of him in the locker room for where his career has been, because like that match with Javon, sorry.
Oh yeah, Javon on NXT.
Yeah, and there was a little bit of Javon kind of botched it a little bit, and he was like sitting there apologizing to Randy. Randy's like, "You're good, bro.
It's okay."
It shows you come a long way from stupid,
and then him saying stupid at Kofi for his botch years ago.
Yeah, and Mr. Kennedy getting fired because he screwed up a back body slam on him. I remember that one time. Like he got up and he just like swung at him.
Yeah.
So.
It's there's a lot of good pay-per-views this year, but I don't think anything top WrestleMania. Both nights, I think together were just awesome.
Yeah,
this one I think it was one of the best manias we've had in a while.
Yeah.
Both nights.
All in was good because of the certain matches, but it wasn't collectively. I would put WrestleMania.
The other one I would say for AEW was definitely Revolution. That whole show capped with Sting's retirement match.
The Sting's retirement match was just gave you goosebumps at the end of that.
That's another great moment of the past year. Sting's retirement match. That's how you send somebody off into the sunset.
Yeah. Unlike Ric Flair, who's wanting to do another match, we're like, dude, stop. Stop, Rick. Stop trying to kill yourself. Yeah. But speaking about retirement, John Cena. We are coming up on the retirement tour. So
it begins on Monday on the Raw debut on Netflix.
Yeah.
He's going to be there.
Bold prediction of what's going to happen for John Cena's retirement tour.
Well, I think it's what everyone is kind of thinking. One of the storylines has to be him trying to win World Championship one more time before he retires to pass Rick,
right?
Nature Boy,
right?
For most recognized World Championship reigns in a career, no matter what company. So that's why it's like there's this whole thing like, the layout for the Rumble is leaked. Like, you think they're gonna let that shit leak?
No,
like, fuck that.
No. My bold prediction: Cena goes heel. It's a bold prediction. It probably won't happen, but that's why it's
probably not.
Probably not. But he hasn't been a heel in like 15 years. So
not since the early Dr. Thugonomics stuff.
No,
before he got really over. It's like he's just too. It's This is him. Fans getting to say goodbye to him, so like they're not gonna. Yeah, it's tempting to think about though.
Yeah.
The question is, would you want him to win a shot? Here's the thing, though. I don't think it's gonna. They're not gonna put him against Cody because that will split the fans. So, I guess it has to be Gunther, and that would rule. Now the question is, do you have him face Gunther at Mania to try to win it, or do you save that for SummerSlam?
Probably save for SummerSlam, just because it's kind of like with Sting.
Because he doesn't need to win the title at Mania, because he's going to be. It's not like he's back and then after Mania is done. No, he's here throughout all of 2025, right to the end.
Yeah, I would do it that way because I think he's going to feud with Logan.
You have the whole year. It's like you got like lots of pay-per-views and stuff on the shows to use him for. So
yeah, I would have him feud with Logan Paul, and that would be the WrestleMania match.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's where I would go, and then have him, at SummerSlam or something like that, win the title, and walk off in the sunset as the greatest champion of all time. Blah 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 blah. That would make more sense, just because you have so much other things going, and then you're just sticking Cena in there. I don't know, because Logan Paul's going to be on the episode, and so is John Cena.
Well, yeah, Logan Paul's officially moved over to Raw.
Yeah, so, and I know people have their opinions about Logan, but as far as carrying a feud and being good in the ring, why wouldn't you? And where he is outside of just the wrestling ring, but just in general, why wouldn't you have John Cena versus Logan Paul at WrestleMania?
So besides like a potential world title match against Gunther, who else would you like to see Cena tangle with before he retires?
I'd like to see him do some things in NXT.
That'd be cool. I think he'd probably definitely do that.
Yeah. Obviously CM Punk. We want to see Cena and Punk again.
Him and Punk, him versus Punk one more time, and him versus Randy one more time. I think are definitely required.
Yeah, those two, and I mean that's what that they were saying.
All the history that he's got with both Punk and especially Randy.
Well, yeah, Randy even said on Cody's podcast that who was going to induct him into the Hall of Fame, he said probably John, because I mean that other than Edge and Randy Orton are the his two biggest feuds.
Yeah. Oh yeah, his feuds in matches with Cena were epic.
Yeah,
back in the day.
I preferred Edge just because Randy and John got stale because they kept forcing that damn match over and over again, like Brock and Roman.
Yeah.
So it's like every couple of whiles, but Edge and Cena, like it made sense. Whereas it was like, but we want that was like right when Bryan was really getting hot, and they were like, cool, Cena or you face each other again for a gajillionth time because even though everybody wants Bryan, so it was just that's the only reason I would put his Edge feud over that, because that was like his first proper feud, and you can and they work so well together. That TLC match was great. But yeah, Randy and John before that,
because you don't need to have him and Roman tangle again, because it's like he already fought Roman not too long ago. That was like 2 years ago.
Well, no, he did tag team with LA Knight, so that's done. He already did that. Obviously, you want him Gunther, definitely. You want to see him in there with Gunther.
Yeah, that's going to be amazing.
Penta,
the promo war between Cena and Gunther. Oh God.
Yeah. Penta. Now that he's
why not?
Penta, might as well. No, I think I know what they're doing with that. But yeah, no, yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what they do with them.
Yep.
But we'll get into where I think they're
going. It doesn't become the newest member of the LWO. I think it'll be fine.
Gift literally I think it was a year ago. He put the meme up of Penta in like the crossroads. It's either LWO or Phantasma. So it's like it's gonna be one of those. That's what they're gonna do Penta with. Oh well. But yeah, no, I want to see him, get in the ring with Javon Evans. That'd be interesting. Him.
Oh yeah.
Just him. It's gonna be retiring, sir. So he always did some stuff with NXT before. Like he would show up, but he never like wrestled. I think he will finally wrestle at least once in NXT. before it's all said and done. I mean, I would love to see him against Oba, but I don't know how do you think Oba's going to be in NXT all through 2025? I believe so.
I think he will.
I think he's going. I think he is
That's why
going to be the title holder for.
Would be dope.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's going to have at least a 6-month title reign.
Yeah. No, he doesn't. They don't need to rush him up as much as people would love to see him. People complained about Braun being in NXT for like another year when they thought that he should have gone right to he should have been called to the main roster. But because of that run, we got banger matches. We got Wolf Dogs. And then last year, he got called up, and he's been killing it ever since. So,
that's a match I want to see is Braun and Braun Breaker and
Oba
John.
Is the guarantee. Oba versus Jacob Fatu. That'll melt people's minds.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. Braun and Jacob are gonna go crazy.
Oh, and against Bronson Reed. I mean, just all the meat matches alone.
Yeah.
It's like oh man.
Do we see Big E in 2025 back in a wrestling ring?
I hope so. I don't know if it's gonna happen. I hope so.
Yeah. All right.
If other people have said it, and I will echo it. If he gets cleared by Rumble time, you got to have Woods and Kofi are causing havoc in the Rumble, and Big E comes out as a surprise entrant. Place will lose their fucking minds.
Yep.
Indianapolis will go batshit crazy if he comes back in the Rumble and eliminates Kofi and Woods in one swoop. Yep. The place will go insane.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It would be nice. It would be cool. That's my fantasy. That's my fantasy wish. So.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. The pin merch is gonna sell nuts, man.
Yeah. It's gonna sell.
Yeah. I could totally go for that.
Yeah. I think Kittle's gonna have more than just a couple matches here and there. I think at the end of the day, once Kittle's end of his career, he's going to be doing some wrestling.
And here's a good question from Kev. I think he will.
It just depends on how everything kind of shakes out.
Here. I got it. She is chasing, trying to get to that world title. He faces Gunther at SummerSlam. Gunther holds the title at SummerSlam. Beats Gunther there. Who takes it from Cena before he retires? Braun.
I think Braun. It could work, but Braun would be Money in the Bank.
Yep.
If you give him Money in the Bank, then I can see it.
Yeah. I think he's gonna. He's gonna eventually be world champion.
Oh yeah, no, that's a given. It's just, is it going to happen in 2020?
What better way to crown Braun by him taking the world title from Cena after he breaks the record? Like the heat that he would get from the fans, it's like it would be perfect.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we shall see.
Yeah,
but let's see about a pay-per-view that happened over the weekend, and that was AEW.
The final pay-per-view of 2024.
Yep. All right. And it wasn't bad.
No.
Just never thought I'd be falling asleep to a Adam Cole MJF match, though. I mean, it was no heat whatsoever.
All right, here's a recap of what happened at AEW's Worlds End 2024 pay-per-view this past Saturday. Quick run through the 0-hour pre-show stuff. Tony Storm defeated Layla Gray. Jeff Jarrett defeated QT Marshall. The Murder Machines, along with Extra during Leo Rush, beat Top Flight and the Outrunners. And then we got to our opening match on the pay-per-view proper. Continental Classic semifinals, Will Ospreay versus Kyle Fletcher. This was a banger match, and Ospreay was able to come out with the victory with a Styles Clash of all things. Great way to open the show. Then we got the other semifinal match right afterwards, Ricochet versus Kazuchika Okada. Okada picked up the victory with the Rainmaker. After the match, Swerve came out and passed out toilet paper to the fans who pelted Ricochet with it to mock him for losing the match, and Ricochet's pissed off. That would pay off later on this week's episode of Dynamite. We had the Tijuana Street fight for the AEW Women's title, Thunder Rosa versus Mariah May. Mariah May picked up the victory after hitting Thunder Rosa with a power driver through a table at ringside. Then we had MJF versus Adam Cole, finally the blow-off to their feud from last year. MJF was able to take Adam Cole to Dick Kick City while the referee was distracted and then hit the Heat Seeker to beat Adam Cole. After the match, Kyle O'Reilly came out along with Roderick Strong. They made up with Cole, and they proceeded to beat the crap out of MJF and leave him a bloody mess and with the diamond ring. Thankfully, it looks like that feud is finally over. Then we had the AEW International title, Konosuke Takeshita taking on Powerhouse Hobbs. Good Hobbs fight. In the end, Takeshita was able to retain by hitting his finisher, Raging Fire, to retain the title. Then we had TBS title match, Chris Statlander once again challenging Mercedes Moné. These two had another banger match. Really long one too, but in the end, Mercedes was able to hit a cradle pin on her to retain, but the fans gave Statlander a standing ovation appreciation for her efforts after the match. And then we had the Continental Classic Tournament final for the title. Okada defending against Ospreay. Just another freaking banger from these guys. The last couple of minutes were just absolutely amazing. Okada finally put Ospreay down with the Rainmaker to win the tournament and remain Continental Champion. Christopher Davis came out and said that he would not be presenting the title belt back to Okada since he's not an EVP anymore, but this man is and introduced Kenny Omega to a mega pop. Kenny Omega was finally back at AEW. Came down and gave Okada the title belt back, and the two had a stare down, teasing a match for 2025. And then finally we got to the main event. AEW title on the line in a fatal four-way as Moxley defended against Orange Cassidy, Jay White, and Hangman and Page. Challengers worked together for a bit to take Moxley out of the match, but eventually their issues came back to bite them. And thanks to also a lot of shenanigans from the Death Riders. Eventually, Moxley hit a Death Rider on Jay White to pin him to retain the title. They tried to do a beatdown, but all of a sudden FTR's music hit, and they came out, and they brought with them their friend Adam Copeland, who made his return from injury. FTR and Copeland attacked and laid out the Death Riders, chasing them off. Copeland vowed that they were gonna that they are ready FTR and they're going to take everything from the Death Riders, close out the pay-per-view. So that's all that happened at AEW's Worlds End 2024 pay-per-view.
You know what? With this that end, like the way it was kind of structured, it reminded me of that WrestleMania where Triple H and Chris Jericho were the main event, but no one remembered it because the Rock Hogan happened beforehand. Yeah. And you couldn't, you had to book the Fatal 4-Way at the end, but you literally gave like a really good match a dream match with Ospreay and Okada. And then you had Kenny come out, have the stare down with Okada.
That was just before the main event. And on top of that, main event was blah.
Yeah, it was okay. When you just had, obviously
it was a mat match at best.
I mean, obviously the two Ospreay matches, but even that Okada Ricochet match had me cracking up laughing because it was making fun of the Fletcher Ospreay stuff, and Okada kind of won it handedly, so it kept that story of like Okada's fresh and Ospreay just went through a freaking war, and then you're gonna have that again. So I like the way they told that story between three matches, and I like the way they did that. The Mariah May Thunder Rosa took a second to get started, but once it was going, it was really solid.
Yeah, that one started a bit slow, but the crowd got into it. That's happened for some of these matches where like the feuds were not built up very well. And as Giff said, talk about a feud being ice cold. That was the MJF Adam Cole match. I'm so glad it's over with. It's
and then
I love those guys. I love those guys so much, and it was just like they completely botched that whole thing.
That's why it's so frustrating because there you have two just amazing talents that have good chemistry, and
you can tell the fans like them, and they were into like certain moments, but for the most of the match, they could not give a fuck.
No, and the thing is you had the Kingdom guarding, making sure he didn't use it. Then he got him kicked out, and then Kyle O'Reilly comes down to save. Then they come down after. What? They literally were just out there.
Yeah,
like I don't whatever. So what were they stuck in catering and they had a mouthful and Kyle O'Reilly was just sitting there in a gorilla?
I guess.
Like I don't get that. But yeah, I mean, and obviously that Mercedes Statlander. I
was
I'm
even
like,
better than the first one, I think.
Yeah, I mean when she carried Mercedes
so
up,
bad that Statlander had to lose again.
I know.
It's like,
but she cut a good promo based off of just how you felt. Everyone's saying I have a good match, but I lost, and like she's having this. She's saying exactly what you just said. Like
I was just frustrated that she has another banger, but that she has to lose again, clean again.
Yeah.
I would have rather Mercedes cheat like a motherfucker, because then you could set up a rubber match,
right?
At least, but. That's the problem I had with the W. It's like some of the booking the women's division. It's like it's like
that is the longest match we've had.
Mariah May's title reign has not been like Mercedes, at least with her feuds and her matches, is blowing Mariah May's title reign out of the fucking water, and she's got the secondary women's championship.
Yeah, and just because Mariah and Tony were
for Tony.
Yeah, right. And that's another thing. Tony was on the pre-show, and her character work is so gosh damn good.
Or is it?
Right.
I think she's putting on an act on purpose. That's what I hope for, because that would be a great reveal.
I just love Tony's just like going around shaking everyone's hands, like like she's acting like a rookie.
Yeah.
And she never remembered what happened before. I don't know. I'm enjoying the hell out of her character work ever since she's become Timeless Tony, and then her coming back. And
because if she's like pulling a con to get her rematch with Mariah, I think that would be the right way to go.
Yeah. But yeah, no. Apparently, wasn't Mercedes and Statlander's match like the longest women's match that AEW's had?
One of them, it may have been. It went over 25 minutes.
Yeah, it went pretty deep.
They gave a lot of time.
Yeah, I mean, and they there's a thing. Mercedes is only good as a heel cutting promos, but man, could she still is great.
It's like Mariah May. I'm not buying anybody being a threat to take the title because
it's Tony's.
They've got Grand Slam in Australia.
Yeah,
coming.
It's Tony's,
and they're going to have the rematch with Tony happen there. So, so then on the other side, it's like Mercedes beats Statlander again. It's like, now what?
Yeah. Takeshita and Powerhouse Hobbs had a fun match.
Yes, that match was a lot of fun. But the highlights were definitely Mercedes versus Statlander 2, and both of Ospreay's matches against Fletcher and then Okada were just amazing.
Yeah, that Fletcher, that Fletcher match. Oh my gosh, they're just we had this discussion our last episode of like, was there like the only thing that's holding Gunther back of
if the ROH title meant anything, I would be okay with that, but it should be Billy Starks who wins that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's the whole. I think that's the whole point of this whole ridiculously long storyline.
Yeah.
Athena, it's like Athena needs to be removed from ROH Purgatory.
Yes, she really does.
If they finally get the title off her, bring her up to AEW, then you gotta now I can buy you now I can buy Mercedes being in trouble.
Yeah. And then and with the rated FTR, I'm like, okay.
And it's like said, we got Jamie here being wasted. I'll get to that when we get to Dynamite. I'm not happy about all that. It's nothing against Julia Hart, who I also like. It's the booking. But yeah, the main event match was a disappointment. You could tell the fans are they're not as invested as you would think into this whole Death Rider thing, because it's Moxley keeps saying the same stuff over again. It's like where's it going? What's the point?
Right. It was like, oh, this is building
the
up.
only thing that got me excited was okay. Copeland with FTR, rated FTR. I dig it.
Yeah.
It freshens things up. All right, we'll see where this goes. But yeah, if it wasn't for some of those banger matches, this would have been like okay show at best. This ended up being a pretty good show.
No, it's definitely I would give it
definitely
a B-.
better than last year's World's End, because last year's World's End sucked ass.
It was terrible. Yeah, I would give this a B-.
Yeah.
But yeah, it helps that AEW has Will Ospreay.
Yeah.
You literally have the best wrestler in the world, and it's not really even close. So, but all right, let's talk about SmackDown real quick.
Yes.
Hey, oh, wait, hold on. Before we go to talk about SmackDown, I think you just heard that Tiffany tried to cash in again just now. She just did it again. She's
yes, he is on fire, Kev. And
is on fire.
Hopefully he's going to get he's probably hopefully have some singles gold at some point this year around his waist. We'll see.
Yeah, it's
he's killing it.
All right, but that was my dad joke of right before I hit play. Oh, Tiffany just tried to cash in again. Just Jesus Christ. Yes, that's right, guys. We also talk crap about WWE sometimes when we don't like what they're doing. That's one of them.
Okay, here's a recap. What happened on last week's episode of Friday Night SmackDown. A recap what happened at Saturday's main event with Kevin Owens laying out Cody Rhodes' Peg Pile Driver and stealing the Winged Eagle title belt. It was made clear that Owens is not the WWE champion. He has until end of night to give back the Winged Eagle the belt or face consequences. Then we went to our opening match, 6-woman tag. Bayley, Naomi, and Bianca Belair team up against Tiffany Stratton, Nia Jax, Candice LeRae. Due to a moment where Tiffany considered cashing in but was stopped by Candice, led to an argument that allowed the babyfaces to recover, and Naomi pinned Candice to win the match. A lot of stuff happened in the back. Eitan Honor complained about what happened with Braun Strowman last week. Sami Zayn came and talked to all this, so he wants the Bloodline Commanders ups, and those took onto it and set up a match for later. Braun Strowman took on Austin Theory. Strowman pinned him with running power slam, pick up the victory. It was announced that starting next week in January, SmackDown would expand to 3 hours on USA. Kevin Owens got a promo from his car saying that he should be the WWE champion. He's going to talk to us tonight, but it's going to be two of them alone in the ring with no security. Piper Niven introduced Chelsea Green as the first women's United States WWE champion in a celebration. Came out dressed in a Statue of Liberty outfit and did like a very political kind of thing. Michin came out and attacked them both with kendo sticks, showing that their feud is not over. Yeah, what I had nothing to say about Street Profits being attacked. Pretty late saw what happened, and told Nick Aldis that the Street Profits, that it was Los Garza who did it, which set up a match between them. And the Street Profits beat Los Garza in the match. Andrade cut a promo saying he's coming for Nakamura in the United States Championship. DIY and Pretty Deadly seem to be in a I'll scratch my back, you scratch yours situation. Street Profits said they want a title shot. More Machine Guns saying they got next after what happened with them. But Apollo Crews came in and said and told the Street Profits that DIY was the ones who attacked them and that Pretty Deadly lied. Then we had Sami Zayn take out Carmelo Hayes in a one-on-one match. Good match until the Bloodline ran in and attacked Sami for a DQ. After the match, the beatdowns on Strowman tried to come out and save, but and stare down Jake at 5-2, but the below the line numbers are able to overwhelm even Strowman. And then we got to Nick Aldis talking to Kevin in the ring. He demanded that he give him the belt or else he'll never wrestle in WWE again. Finally, Cody Rhodes arrived, and the two got into it. And Cody challenged Kevin Owens to settle things with both the Real Championship and the Classic Wing Eagle Championship hung up from the rafters. Challenged him to a ladder match for the title at the Royal Rumble, and Kevin Owens accepted. He shoved Nick Aldis into Cody so he could attack him, and had to be separated by security to close out the show. So that's all that happened on last week's episode of Friday Night SmackDown.
So, Justin, what do you want to talk about?
Not much happened on this show.
Nope.
Outside of setting up the ladder match between Cody and KO at Royal Rumble, which is just going to kick ass.
The stare down between Braun Strowman and Jacob Fatu was awesome.
That was a nice tease.
Yeah. But I mean, I feel like every time Jacob Fatu stares down with the Goliath, everyone just gets hyped up about it. So
I love the evil shenanigans that DIY is playing.
What's up with Pretty Deadly and DIY now? Like,
wait, hey, if they can use Pretty Deadly to do their dirty work, why not?
Yeah. But yeah, no, not really a whole lot. I mean, the Carmelo, Braun Strowman stuff, I'm enjoying it so far.
Just lead somewhere for Melo.
Yeah.
Andrade versus Nakamura. That sounds like a fun match.
Mm-hmm. That's going to be really good for what they want to do there. Yeah, and the Kevin Owens, Cody stuff. I don't know.
I found it hilarious that the Street Profits didn't do their due diligence and Apollo Crews all people like they lied to you guys. It was DIY,
right?
Which we all knew was DIY.
Yeah, it was DIY. Of course it was. What the heck, Gif? I haven't seen Push Montez Ford in our chat when we talk about the Street Profits. I mean, you're slacking, dude. Come on. But no, I just
the Tiffany Cash and
you have the floor, sir, because that is
I'm tired of the teasing. It's like, don't keep teasing it every week because it's like it diminishes when she's finally gonna cash in. It's like
sometimes the long-term storytelling becomes lazy and repetitive.
It's gotten really lazy, this whole thing. It's pissing me off because the fans love Tiffany. They want her to cash in and win the title, but they keep putting it off.
Yeah.
It's like, don't want Nia to be the champion for much longer. I'm over it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Give her the title and let her go into Mania and face Charlotte Flair and beat Charlotte. And just get to it, for the love of God.
Yeah. Oh, speaking about who did what, Jade Cargill did post like her like all like bloodied and stuff. Like a photo, so cryptic thing, like what's going on.
Well, it's either going to be Naomi or Bianca is going to be revealed to have done it. So it's one of them. Yeah.
So, hey, and Bayley exists. I can't believe I'm saying that right now at the end of 2024, but that's basically where we're at. It was like, hey, Bayley's here. Like they're really not doing much. She's just kind of there, and it's Bayley. Like there's really no direction for her.
Yeah, she's kind of just like spinning her wheels right now.
Yeah, but hey, anytime you get solid Candice LeRae TV time, I'm good with it.
Yeah, I mean that's the one positive about it.
Candice LeRae is like the only thing that like I look forward to within that whole 6 women feud stuff going on. So, alrighty. Anything else on SmackDown?
Just I loved what Kevin Owens is doing with his heel work. He's acting like he's all like justified rights, and he does still have some valid points.
That's better.
He still acts as a dirty heel, where he's like, "Yeah, I want to shake your hand, Cody." It's like, "I'll be a sportsman," and it's like, "Fuck you and Nick Aldis," and it's like it's good stuff.
His dry wit heel.
The Wing Eagle belt looks good on him. It does.
It does. And I feel like if Kevin finally gets the title, it's going to be a solid reign and not the hey, let's put him on the title because give Triple H a favor just so Goldberg can beat him in 2 seconds type thing. That last time he was champion for that. But no, I'm loving the heel work that Kevin's doing. And that ladder match is going to be great. So at the Rumble.
It is.
Yeah. So, all right. Speaking about a feud that's going to be great, let's talk about Raw and that freaking early promo of the year type stuff.
Well, technically it was still last year.
I know. Close enough.
Close enough.
2025 adjacent. All right, here we go.
Here's a recap of what happened on this week's episode of Monday Night Raw, the final Raw on USA Network for the time being, with it moving over to Netflix next week. New Day came out to massive heat. They would not allow them to speak. Jey Uso came down. New Day tried to appeal to him to help them out, but he told them that he agrees with the crowd that New Day sucks. They left. Jay called out Drew for what he's been doing lately. Drew eventually attacked him from behind after Solo Sikoa delivered a message to him on the Videotron, warning him that he's going to take out Roman Reigns and be the one and only tribal chief on next week's Raw. McIntyre attacked him while he was distracted by this. They got into a fight, and he eventually hit him with a Claymore. Otis took on Chad Gable. Otis ended up tapping out to a grapevine ankle lock to give Gable the victory. Rhea Ripley cut a promo vowing that this thing between her and Liv is finally going to end, and she's going to take back the Women's World Heavyweight Championship on next week's Raw. Judgment Day, we're discussing things in the back. A match between R-Truth and Pete Dunne didn't happen because Pete Dunne attacked R-Truth in the aisle and beat him down. Then we had the Women's Intercontinental Title Tournament semifinal match, Dakota Kai versus Zoe Stark. Dakota Kai picked up the victory to move on to the finals. They showed a highlight reel of some of the best moments of Monday Night Raw over the decades while it was on USA Network. Very nice. Then we had six-man tag Judgment Day taking on Damian Priest and the War Raiders. Babyface picked the victory with Priest hitting a South Heaven chokeslam on Dominic. Judgment Day tried to beat down Priest after the match, but War Raiders helped fight them off. Adam Pearce gave Jey Uso what he wanted, a match against Drew McIntyre on next week's episode of Raw on Netflix. We got another mysterious vignette of the mysterious symbol, but it was also went to showing a very clear mask design that is definitely trademark of Penta El Zero Miedo. He's on his way. Kaiser came out, cutting a promo, wanting Braun Breaker and to come out and face him for the title, but Sheamus returned to attack him instead. New Day mocked Rey Mysterio for trying to give a peck up to Otis. He issued a challenge to them for a tag match next week, which they seem to accept. Then we had the other semifinals in the Women's Intercontinental Title Tournament, Lyra Valkyria versus Io. This match was an absolute banger from the ladies. Lyra Valkyria is able to pick up the victory with a roll-up bridge in a great finishing sequence. He's Dakota Kai in the finals in 2 weeks on Raw. They hyped up Roman Reigns versus Solo Sikoa Tribal Combat match for the title of Tribal Chief on next week's episode of Raw on the Netflix debut. And then we got to the main event segment, a face-off between Seth Rollins and CM Punk. These guys came out throwing haymakers on the mic, really getting it going for the jugular. Did a great job setting things up for their match in the next week on Raw's debut on Netflix. And then the two had a big, intense stare down as the show went off the air. To end Raw's era on the USA Network for now, So that's all that happened on this week's episode of Monday Night Raw.
As far as, I do want a quick shout out, as far as Raw switching to Netflix, and got a big shout out to Joe Tessitore and Wade Barrett for the job. Obviously, they're still going to continue on SmackDown, but when people are like, who's Joe Tessitore? I'm like, trust me, he's solid. And then you can tell he's a student of the game, and Wade was the perfect second to him because he helped him along, and he's only gotten better for that. And people now just love Joe Tessitore calling matches. But
I'm gonna miss them being on Raw. They did such a great job, and but I'm glad that it's like don't break. I'm glad they're not being broke up. Cole McAfee coming back.
As good as Joe and Wade are, it ain't nothing like the banter back and forth between McAfee and Cole. They got that. That's just different. It's different on that. But I thought it was a pretty solid show. That opening segment, I mean, I know Jey Uso is okay in the ring at best, but man, is he probably the most over wrestler on that. And then Solo actually had that was a pretty decent video promo that he did. I really enjoyed that. And then McIntyre doing what he does with that.
Yep, my boy keeps it's like he's just killing it, and he's gonna play a role in the Tribal Combat match.
Oh yeah, 100%. One thing here's my question for you though. Dakota and Lyra have like nothing behind them right now for that final match. That's what I'm worried about. Is because people are like, Dakota won, but
and
Lyra won, and like,
but it's like that's why I think that I'm glad that they're waiting 2 weeks and not doing it next week. Maybe give them some like promo time on this week's episode of Raw on the Netflix debut, because I'm glad that they're saving that match for not because this show for this coming Monday show for the Netflix debut is already being treated like Saturday Night's Main Event PLE level kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it's like, I mean, you've already got Punk Seth, Tribal Combat Roman Solo, Liv Rhea. We also got Drew versus Jay. It's like you got a lot of big matches on there, so it's like I'm glad that they're saving that for because it would kind of get overshadowed with all the other stuff that's going on.
Yeah, I did like it. The New Day are so like heels that even Dominic's like, it's messed up, bro.
Yeah, but I think the match against Io definitely helps Lara. It's like I hear some reaction for her like music stuff, but it's not to like where she's like really over yet. It's they gotta give her some more promo time and develop more of her character a bit more. But I'm happy for both her and Dakota. That's who I hoped would be in the finals. Was those two, because I feel they both could use the boost. So it's going to be. I'm excited for that match, and I'm glad it's not going to be this coming week, but in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So that way they could have that be like the main event,
So I might have missed some things in my mind. Why is Sheamus still going after Ludwig? Hasn't he beat him like 6 times in a row?
Yeah, this feels like that's getting dragged out a little bit too long. I think they need to finally put that one to bed.
In order to have a rubber match, both people have to win, not just one-sided. That's the issue I saw with that. And the trios match was fine, but I'm just kind of over the Judgment Day versus Damian Priest for 7 years.
Yeah, that's another feud that's getting dragged along, just like Liv and Rhea, which is ironic because I love how they both like this feud needs to end. That's what we've all been saying.
Yeah, it's like good. They're like, this is the end, and we're like, thank you. Like, and we'll get into AEW because even I think it was, MJF was like, "I'm done with Cole. Thank you." Like,
thank you.
Yeah. So
It's like they made it clear that Adam Cole and the Undisputed Group and MJF are moving on to other things.
yeah.
Thank
What other big things stuck out?
you.
Hey, Chad Gable got a win.
Yeah, he finally got a win for a change. That was nice. Going back to New Day, the heat that they're getting is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we missed it because it happened during the holiday break. But like, even like Kofi's mom being like, like shunning him was just like top notch.
Yeah, that was pretty hilarious.
I like how they're acting like we didn't do anything wrong. Did we hurt Big E?
Yeah,
not physically.
Where are we? And I know we haven't talked about him yet because of the work that he's been doing recently. But where do you think this Karrion Kross Miz stuff's gonna end up going?
I don't know.
I'm still intrigued. I'm still
interested.
Yeah. For that, so it's good there. But
I like that McIntyre's he's slowly working his way toward getting revenge on Roman. Because I'm saying that he's getting involved in because on the pre-tape SmackDown for holidays, he had that little exchange with Solo where he's like, goes, "You played a hand in fucking me over at Clash of the Castle, but I like what you're doing.
Right.
I like that you're trying to put Roman away. I respect that. So it's like should I hurt you now or let you hurt?" It's like that's where I think he's gonna. I know people want Roman to win the Tribal Combat match, but I think it would be McIntyre could not pass up the opportunity to fuck Roman over in a better way than to take away something that means something to him, the Ulafala, to cost him that after what happened in Clash Castle. That would be a great revenge moment for Drew on Roman, is to make him lose the Tribal Combat match, lose the Ulafala.
Yeah. All right. Woo, that promo back and forth.
That's Punk. That's exactly what you needed. I was like, this is okay. Let's do it. And then right away, they're just throwing haymakers.
I mean, it's Seth basically talking about, or no, Punk bringing up his wife.
Becky is like, haven't seen the man around. Did she take her ball and go home to?
What was it? It was like he was like, "See, my wife's got a kid. What's her excuse?"
He's like, "She took time off to raise our kid. Something you wouldn't know anything about." It's like,
right? Yeah, something like It's like, oh, and then him calling him little brother, and
it's like there's a lot of truth back and forth. Yeah. It's like they both brought up a lot of good points. But yeah, the whole like. He's like the referencing Vince but not saying his name. It's just like, man. And also the fact he brought up AEW as well. You went over to the competition. How'd that work out for you? Oh.
And then I love the place that I worked. I just hated the guy I worked for or was running it, and he loved you. Oh.
Yeah, it's like they did not hold back, man. It was great.
No, that's how you felt. That's how Dusty says, "There's the money."
Right. And I love that they didn't have to. He didn't have to say Vince McMahon. He didn't have to say AEW. You know what they were talking about.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And I mean, that's just people. I think people underestimate how good Seth can be on the mic.
Yep. I think people forget.
Yeah. But when he really digs his teeth and sinks his teeth into something, he's really good.
This was a great final sell for their match. And I see why they said it's going to be in the main event because which is shocking to me. It's like you'd think that Roman versus Solo for Tribal Chief would be the main event. It's like it's not.
No. And I'm surprised it's
because
like
I think something WrestleMania and Rumble implications are going to happen as a result of that match.
It has to, because I would have thought Seth would have done a jab at him again about, we're main eventing the Raw on Netflix, and the only reason we're doing that is because you can never main event WrestleMania or something like that.
He's talking about how he's going to end Punk. So I think Punk's going to win the match. I think Punk's winning the match.
Yeah.
Because that will drive Seth even more crazy.
Yeah, but well done,
Yeah.
Pumpkin and Seth, because I was just
two of the best-
I watched
Two of the
that
best
twice.
on the mic.
Yeah, I
Showing you how
watched
it's
that back
done.
and I was just like, good stuff there. And R-Truth, just do whatever. You're entertaining. I don't care.
I'm no Butch.
No Butch.
Tell him, Pete.
Oh, you can't say Butch. Anyway, let's talk about AEW.
Yeah. Here's a recap what happened on this week's episode of AEW Dynamite. Fight for the Fallen. It was also the first Dynamite to be simulcast on Max Live as well as on TNT, as AEW content is now on Max now, slowly. The show opened with a new intro with the classic "I Am So Excited" song. Interesting choice. Recapped what happened at World's End. Showed Mox cutting a promo, saying it doesn't matter what Adam Copeland does. No one's taking the title from him. He's the king. Radio FTR responded, hyping up their six-man tag main event later in the show. The opening match was Orange Cassidy taking a hang with Adam Page. Adam Page picked up the victory. The buckshot lariat. He beat on Orange some more afterwards. Chris Daniels and the referees came out to stop him, and he shoved Chris Daniels out and left. Jay White cut a promo vowing that he was going to win the triple threat and get himself into the Casino Gauntlet match so he could earn himself another shot at Jon Moxley again. The Acclaim took on the Hurt Syndicate. The issues between the Acclaim continued. Eventually, Bones left Caster in the ring because he wanted to tag in when he was trying to do stuff. And Caster got destroyed by the Hurt Syndicate, and he tapped out the Hurt Lock. Swerve cut a promo in the back, saying that he was going to win, get into the Casino Gauntlet match. He's going to make 25 his year. Then we had Jamie here taking on Julia Hart. She pretended to attack Hayter with her arrow, and that as Aubrey got rid of it, the distraction allowed her to spray mist Jamie Hayter's face, and that allowed her to pin her and pick up the victory. Got a promo saying that the year's Rainmaker is going to continue to keep dominating as Continental Champion, and warned Kenny to stay out of his way, bitch. They announced that Kenny Omega would be returning next week on Dynamite. Mercedes Moné came out to cut a promo vowing how great she is and showed a hype package of all her stuff that she did last year. Said that she was going to take care of Mina Shirakawa at Wrestle Dynasty this weekend. The Undisputed Kingdom, Adam Cole, Colorado Roderick Strong cut a promo and hyping up Strong as he went out to earn his spot in the Casino Gauntlet match. Triple threat match. Winner would get the number one spot in the Casino Gauntlet match next week to earn a title shot. Roderick Strong versus Switchblade. Jay White versus Swords Strickland. Near the end of the match, Ricochet appeared out of the crowd and attacked Swerve from behind with a pair of scissors, busting him open, knocking him silly. That took him out of the match, and Jay White took advantage and hit Roderick Strong with the Blade Runner, pick up the victory, and earn that spot in the Gauntlet match. Ricochet continued to attack Swerve afterwards. Nana tried to stop him, and he took Nana out with a chair shot. He beat him some more in the ring, and finally the Undisputed Kingdom, Cole, Kyle, and Strong chased Ricochet off and helped Swerve. Jeff Jarrett was talking to his crew in the back, saying that he made his decision, and they all said that they supported him no matter what his decision was. Mariah May cut a promo saying how great she is and told the rest of the division to come try to prove how good they were to try and take the title from her. Jeff Jarrett came out in a promo in the ring, teased talking about his career, where he came from, teasing they might decide to retire, but he announced that he was not going to retire. He'd re-signed with AEW to a new contract, and his vow is that in 2025, he's going to find a way to win the AEW World Championship. He'll cut a promo on the patriarchy, mocking Christian challenged him to face him one-on-one next week in 2 weeks at the Maximum Carnage show, and that was set up. Powerhouse Hobbs took on 2 jobbers and destroyed them in a minute. Big Bill and Brian Keith mocked rated FTR, setting up a 6-man tag on Collision between the Learning Tree and them. Then they showed a promo from MGF after World's End, where he said that now that he's done with Adam Cole, he's moving back into the world title picture, getting back the title that he was screwed out of last year, and told Moxley that he was coming for him, and come hell or high water, 2025, the Devil will get his due again and become AEW champion once more. Then we got to the main event match, 6-man tag. Cope, shortened down from Adam Copeland, and FTR took on the Death Riders. The Babyfaces picked up a victory thanks to a Shatter Machine and then a spear on Yuta. And they stood tall to close out the show. So that's all that happened on this week's episode of AEW Dynamite.
I know you want to talk about the match. The match itself was fine. Just the booking of it, I didn't understand with the Hart Hater, because you immediately just put those two together. Like, you've been trying to build up Hart, you've been trying to build up Hater. Why are you putting them together so quickly?
Exactly, that's my problem. They shouldn't be facing each other.
Yeah,
because Hater should continue to be built up to get back into the title picture, and you want to build Julia Hart back up. She just got back from injury. Instead, you have to throw the two of them at each other. It's like neither one of them should be losing them. Yeah, okay, she used the mist on her to win. Okay, she cheated, whatever. But it's just the way she's been booked. It's like, so is it, unless this leads to her getting her win back against Julia, then what was the point? Yeah. The booking is frustrating. I mean, I don't buy into the conspiracy theory that she's being purposely buried, like team from New York, some other people are thinking. But it's like, it's just the booking is just really questionable. It just makes me wonder. It's like,
yeah, it was just very odd that it was like, why are we having those two already? Like, that could be a money match between Hater and the way you're building up Julia Hart. Mm-hmm. And for that, speaking of will they, won't they ever break up? AEW's back in the mix on that, doing that with the Acclaimed.
I don't want them to break up. I don't think it'll work for either one of them.
But I think the only way what's going to happen, whoever, because I just think one's going to join the Hurt Syndicate. And then the other one's going to be left in the dust.
Yeah,
that's the problem. So, but they've been. I mean, you gotta call a spade a spade.
I don't think they're going to do well as singles. No. I think they're better as a team.
They are.
That's why I think this whole storyline is a mistake.
Yeah. Shout out to, hey kids, you know how we want to put over new talent? Jeff Jarrett's going to go for the title. That's what we're going to do.
I was
okay with it.
Around, but when he said that he wants to win the world champion, I'm like, oh, okay, come on.
Hey, Ring of Honor world champion, Jeff Jarrett. He didn't say what world title. He just said he's going to win the world title.
That'd be more realistic than him winning the AEW world title.
I want this feud between Ricochet and Swerve to really, really work.
This was the best thing on the show. That whole thing that
angle,
Ricochet attacking him, what he did, he got mega heat. He looked completely unhinged.
Yeah,
very interesting choice that Cole and companies helped Swerve out because they're not friends, so that was a little weird. But
what else are they gonna do?
Well, I guess they're just being baby faces,
yeah.
Which is what they are at the right now. So, but yeah, that was money.
I was surprised on how no shenanigans happened between Orange Cassidy and Hangman.
Yeah, it was.
I'm not mad about it. I was just surprised.
I just wish that it's like put him in a clear direction because it feels like Heyman's been like just.
He's in like
the place ever since.
He's in the main card purgatory, basically.
Yeah.
Like you're still booked as a main event in the main event cards.
They do, like we said. I was really happy that both Adam Cole and the Kingdom, and then later MJF's promo made it clear that feud is over. It's done.
Yep.
We're moving on. Thank God.
Moving on.
And as soon as MJF said he wants to get back in World Championship, somebody asked, please.
Yeah. You know what? Oh, by the way, the Radar Superstar, Cope.
Weird. Not. I'm kind of like on it right now. I don't think it's necessary. Is it like, okay, I want to have a short name like I had Edge, but I can't use Edge because that's copyrighted by WWE. Right. So it's weird.
But I'm liking their team.
Making jokes about it online.
Yeah.
Right
now. Yeah. It's like well, this thing is like, well, I can't use Edge. What are you gonna do? Cope. You're gonna just cope about it.
Yeah.
With that, but no,
as soon as the Learning Tree guys were going after him and FTR, I'm like, no, please God, no,
go away.
No, it's too late. They're having a match against Jericho and company on Collision. It's like, son of a bitch.
I don't know.
Don't stop getting sucked into the Jericho vortex.
No, it's the Judgment Day and the Jericho vortex are real things, guys. Both of them. They get sucked into the Judgment Day vortex. But no, I mean, I still like that the trios match at the end. That was really good.
The main event match was good. I liked Jay White sneaking in and getting payback on Wheeler Yuta, like he said he would, and it cost him the match. I like that.
Yeah. Like I said, overall, I would really enjoyed the show. It wasn't like, again, it was just the booking decision of Hayter and Hart so quickly.
Yeah.
Not that it's a terrible thing. It's just questionable.
Yeah. Also, I watched it on Max since it's the live stream of Max was actually really good. The picture quality looked better than on TNT proper, and I had no issues with the stream at all. It ran like clockwork. It was the only drawback was no picture in picture on Max, but other than that, it was the thumbs up on the no streaming issues in the picture quality.
Did you check out and see if they've put any of the old pay-per-views or the 2019 stuff? So they're already on there.
All the pay-per-view events for 2019 are on there. Dynamites, they've put the Dynamites from the first batch of Dynamites from the first one ever to the end of 2019 are on there. That's the only old year Dynamites are available. Then it jumps to like back to October. Like you have the most recent Dynamites going back to like October on there, and then the ones from 2019. So they're slowly rolling out the old pay-per-views and Dynamites on there.
Gotcha. Yeah. No, that's
WWE did the same thing on January 1st. Not all the old Raws, but a lot of there's a select group of older Raw episodes. They threw in a lot of like big ones, like the first ever Raws on there. The last like 2 years worth of Raws are all on there. Like all the Raws from 2022 and last year are on there already. But then when you get back, not every year is on there. So it's like they just like we're going to throw in some of the older stuff, just like a little bit. Like they put in they picked a lot of episodes that are like well known, kind of like some highlights of different.
And didn't Big E show though that he's hosting? It's already debuted on Netflix.
Yes, that's on there. Where he looks back at memorable Raw events.
Speaking about looking back, the Dudleys retrospective is on the Vault. So
you saw that? Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, and I didn't realize it was like, how'd y'all become a tag team? Bub was like, I went to Paul and was like,
they
hey,
put up a new retrospective where people were talking about their best moments on Monday Night Raw. That was really nice. Walt been talking about his debut where he beat Razor, and then his banger title match against Bret Hart on Raw, which is one of the best matches in the history of Raw ever.
Right.
And Mick talking about winning the title from The Rock. That moment, I was like, yeah, that was nice.
That's a historical moment of him winning that title because it's not only was it really cool and like that's the loudest pop we've ever
I totally forgot Carlito made his Raw debut by beating Shelton Benjamin for the Intercontinental title. I totally forgot about that. He talked about that.
Yeah. Because Carlito, Paige, and Santino Marella all debuted and won a title.
That's right. Yeah. When Paige made her main roster debut, she won the Divas title.
Yep, beat AJ Lee. So, I'm just saying, AJ, you can come back just for one more match against Roxanne. Just do it. Come on, you want to do it?
Yeah, you want to make put Cora and Roxanne on Cloud 9, have AJ come back.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it's good to hear about the. I'll have to double back and check that out because I was watching. Obviously, I record everything on the YouTube TVs, so I'll go back and see.
Yeah, and there's some selected old content for people overseas who don't have access to the network anymore because they're moving that stuff to Netflix. But there are some countries that still have the WWE Network up, so the WWE Network is not like dead. It's still available in certain countries.
Right, I know that. All right. Every time we go over NXT, it just gets closer and closer to the inevitable. But you know what?
It's gonna be okay.
I'm gonna be okay. I'm gonna be okay. Cora's they're highlighting Cora a lot more right now, and
we'll talk about the positive.
I just don't want it. All right.
Okay, so recap what happened on this week's episode of NXT back in the Performance Center in Orlando this week. This was pre-taped for a holiday. Final match before New Year's Evil next week. Opening match, Kalani Jordan taking on Lola Vice. Cora Jade came out to cause a distraction. That allowed Kalani to roll up Lola Vice in a roll-up pin, pick up the victory. Jade came in and attacked both of them with a kendo stick. Stephanie Kerr ran out to make the save. Her and Lola Vice tried to team up to beat up Cora Jade, but Jade ducked and Lola accidentally hit her spinning back fist on Stephanie instead. The match of the year of the NXT Awards went to Obafemi versus Josh Briggs versus Dijak at Stand Deliver last year. Briggs accepted and gave a shout out to Dijak with a Feast Your Eyes reference. A video package on Julia aired to talk about her getting into wrestling and her time in Japan and saying that, like many other great women's wrestlers before her, she plans on becoming NXT Women's Champion. The moment of the year for NXT went to Joe Hendry's arrival in NXT. He accepted via a pre-tape video and teased another that he may show up again whenever you expect, right before a Raw Netflix ad aired right afterwards. Cedric Alexander isn't happy with what Ethan Page did to his buddy Javon Evans. The two of them got into a brawl in the back, which led into a match between the two. Ethan Page won with a twist of fate. And then afterwards, he took and mashed Cedric's hand inside a toolbox to punctuate the segment. Then we had a three-way women's tag team match. Shotzi and Gigi Dolan versus Men of 4 versus Katie and Katara Shot Chance. Things got hectic. Fatal Influence took advantage of a distraction. JC Jane attacked Gigi Dolan from behind, and that allowed Men of 4 to capitalize and hit their finisher on JJ to pin her and pick up the victory. After the match, Unholy Union popped up on screen and challenged Men of 4 to a match, apparently hinting that they won't, one of them might get a future women's tag team title shot. As a result, we'll see. Lola Vice tried to apologize to Stephanie Kerr about what happened. Kalani Jordan came in and mocked them, and they all got into an argument. Cora Jade was enjoying watching the chaos. Ava came up and told her that she, along with Kalani, Stephanie, and Lola Vice, we're going to have a fatal four-way number one contenders match next week on New Year's Evil. Winner will face Fallon Henley for the women's North American title. Ava then met with William Regal, Lexis King, and Charlie Dempsey in her office. After the controversial finish to the Heritage Cup match, she decided that to clear things up, that they would have a match for the cup one false sudden death. Regal said that he would have nothing to do with this and walked out. Lexus wasn't happy as Ava took the cup away from him and gave it back to Charlie Dempsey for now. Phyrexian won Tag Team of the Year. No surprise. As they accepted the award, OTM came up and said that they're going to come for him and take the tag titles from him. So Ruckus took on Izzy Dame. Zarya came out to cheer on, but she accidentally hit Zarya with a moonsault to the outside when she was going for Izzy Dame. That allowed Dame to capitalize and hit her with a sky high to pin her and pick up the victory. With you know who watching from the rafters. Spears is definitely still trying to recruit her. Hank and Tank needed a partner against Wesley and Tyreek and Tyson, and they asked Andre Chase, who reluctantly accepted. NXT Female Superstar of the Year, of course, went to Roxanne Perez. Project accepted, bragging about how awesome she is, and that she plans on beating Julia again next week. Then we had our main event match. Hanky Tank, along with Andre Chase, taking on Tyreek, Tyson, and Wesley. Andre Chase tried to help and do a good job, but eventually, realizing that there was no Chase U cheering section, he got dejected and kind of walked out in the match, and that allowed the heels to beat Hanky Tank and pick up the victory. Shantae was leaving a message on Carmen's phone, trying to win her back. He turned down Nikita Lyons' invitation to go celebrate New Year's with him. Said he wanted to try to win Carmen back. Spears praised Izzy Dame, who is still not interested in joining his faction. The Angelo family came up and had words with Sean Spears, and looks like they're teasing another match between those two. They ran down the New Year's Evil card, and then we closed out with what was supposed to be announcing the male superstar of the year, but Obafemi came out, cut a promo on Trek, who came out to respond. 84 eventually ran in and attacked both of them and laid them both out using the trophy and stood tall holding the NXT championship over both of them. Close out the show. So that's all I have on this week's episode of NXT.
I'm surprised Baron Corbin hasn't tweeted out, "Hey, Andre Chase, way to steal my gimmick of being a broke ass Andre Chase."
Yeah, it's
right. He's wearing the button down white shirt too.
Yeah, it's I was thinking are they giving him? Are they putting him into bum ass Corbin mode?
Yeah, he's doing bum ass Corbin. Why did you put him in the white shirt? You're obviously gonna make us have that connection, and him all depressed the whole time. It's just oh my god. I mean, at least it's something for him.
Yeah, it's at least something,
and it makes sense. But it's just that's Baron Corbin's thing, man.
It's an obvious callback.
Yeah, it's an obvious callback. But congratulations to the greatest champion wrestler of all time.
I mean, there was there's no one else that should have won NXT Women's Wrestler of the Year.
Fraxium and Roxanne was
duh.
Yeah. But I was surprised the triple threat won.
Yeah, that was a bit of a surprise, but that was a banger match.
And then Dijak. Thanks for that.
I voted for the Women's Iron Survivor match.
Yeah. I forgot what I voted for, but you know what I did vote for?
It was on Sports Illustrated's top 10 women's matches of the year, which I thought was nice.
But you know who I did vote on that won?
Yeah,
Joe Hendry.
Oh.
Yeah. And he's of course he popped up there. Hopefully TNA finally puts the belt on him, and he's in the. I don't know how you're not going to have him in the Rumble.
He's going to be in the Rumble.
He's going to be in the Rumble. I mean, come on.
But I like how he kind of people are like, did he just tease that he might show up on Raw? Mm-hmm. Because he's like, I can show up on any time, any show, and then after it was done, they did Raw going to Netflix commercial.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I see what you did there. With that, I'm surprised Izzy got the win.
Yeah, I don't know. That's the second week in a row that Sol Ruckus lost a match. I'm like, what's going on here?
And then Zarya's just kind of there.
It's very interesting. They're setting up some storylines here, with making clear. I'm liking the whole thing with Cora Jade just completely messing things up between Stephanie Becker, Lola Weiss, and Claudia Jordan.
Yeah.
And kind of like I was like how she was just sitting there watching them argue, kind of like enjoying the chaos. And then it was like had to ruin it by, oh yeah, you're gonna be in a fatal 4-way with those three next week. Good luck.
Yeah. No, like I said, I'm digging the 4-way back and forth between them. And gives Stephanie something to do.
Yeah.
So definitely big on that. I will say the biggest thing that I'm surprised.
The fact that she's involved in this makes it clear that they're not going to have her go after the NXT title just yet.
Just yet. And I guess my feud of Cora and Roxanne is going to be the blow off before Roxanne goes to the main roster. It doesn't look like that's going to be booked anytime soon.
Well, it depends on what happens with the Julia match. I mean,
we know what's going to happen, okay?
Well, what if Cora tries to help her out again, but it backfires?
I just feel like Cora's so busy with the Fatal 4-Way and stuff, she's also not going to come out and try and help.
That's what I'm thinking.
So, I don't.
Well, and I don't really want any shenanigans. I want I want Julia to win, beat her clean. It's like.
Well, I don't want Julia to win.
I know.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. But yeah, all bias aside, no, it's you kind of.
I will probably wear my Julia shirt next week.
Okay.
I have not worn it yet because I've been waiting. I've been waiting for New Year's Eve week.
Right.
So it's like don't hurt me, HBK. Don't fuck Julia over again. It's like
right.
It's like it makes a logical sense that she would lose again. It's like get ready to. I know it's like the Prodigy has had an amazing run, but it's time for her to graduate and move on to bigger and better things on Raw or SmackDown.
Yeah.
Do you have a preference to which show do you want Roxanne to go to? Do you think one is better option than the other? Do you think she would do better on Raw?
Yeah, but SmackDown would be where if I was booking it, I would put Roxanne on SmackDown because they need somebody other than because right now it's Tiffy. Because, like I said, Bayley's.
Well, Becky and Charlotte are both going to be back here within.
That's true.
They're both about to come back.
For the Raw on Netflix.
So, yeah, it's like the rest of the horsewomen are about to return.
Yeah. So I like I said, I don't care. Everywhere she goes, she's going to dominate. But speaking about
but I do like that they're giving Cora something with what she's been. She's making a lot of enemies, and I think it's going to backfire.
Oh yeah. No, I'm liking what they're because at first when she first came back and stuff, I'm like, and she was kind of just like the heater for Roxanne. I'm like, come on, that's not what she.
Yeah, she was mainly. It felt like she was mainly like the Diesel to her Shawn Michaels for a bit, but now she's finally got her own storyline going on.
Yeah, that was one thing I was like, yes, I like those. They're always great together, and
especially the matching outfits. I mean, every time they do the matching outfits, I love it.
Yeah. But yeah, Katana and Kaden.
It was nice to see them back. They that was a fun match. Oh my god, I was like worried when Shotzi landed on her head. I was like, no, don't.
Not again.
That was a little scary.
Yeah.
I think she's okay.
And then the pose that the trio did where like Shotzi like pushed her down on Tatum. I'm like, guys, this is a PG show. Can we hold off there for a second? Good God.
But it made sense. Jace Jane got her payback on Gigi for last week by screwing her over, so they to lose this match. They really are pushing Lash Legend Shakira Jackson. It feels like they're prepping them to like win the tag titles. Yeah.
No, I mean they've what they did on the main roster stuff was real good work.
Yeah. No, they've gotten really good.
Yeah. And especially for where Lash Legend was, she's progressed tenfold. Speaking of, and I'll transition from that to, I'm surprised Eddie Thorpe is not a fish out of water anymore. He seems like he's doing enough stuff to where it makes sense. I like it. I like it.
Yeah, he looked really good against Trick in that match. So it's, I think it's working.
Yeah, because at first I'm like, it's Trick and Oba. We're good. Why do we need Eddie? But Eddie, they booked it, and Eddie's grabbed the brass ring as far as, all right, but you're going to have to work with guys that are super over. And you're Eddie Thorpe, who was a DJ and dates Dakota Kai. I think it's
Yeah.
who dates. That's pretty much all.
Yeah,
all
it's
you're
like,
gonna-
Eddie and Dakota Kai are an item. So
Yeah.
um,
But he has won me over. Unlike Ridge,
just
I'm
like
actually buying
Connie and Carmelo are together
No, yeah, it's Kalani. Sorry, Lash and Trick are together.
in real life. Yes.
Yeah, in real life. But no, I was just afraid because of what they were trying to do with Ridge didn't work, and because everyone just wanted Oba.
I'm glad that Tony
like,
brought up the Ridge thing. So like, Tony's got like Ridge Holland and Sean Spears looking around, coming trying to take the North American title from him. So I'm glad he's got some storylines to deal with.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of interest. There's they're building up a lot of storylines in the women's division right now. Did you like what'd you think of the Julia video where they gave her promo time? I thought that was a really well done way to, like kind of like build her up. I like that they're not afraid to let like her speak in Japanese or Stephanie speak in Spanish in subtitled. Like, I think Julia's English is a little bit stronger right now than Stephanie's, but because like she can speak pretty well in English right now. So I like that. I'm glad that they showed like the Japan footage. I always like when they see that. It's good hype video. I like that they both gave that and Roxy rather than. I'm glad that they like gave them a break. They don't need to. You don't need to have them on each week battling each other. It's like for this match.
It's already sold.
We had the Roxanne package last week, and then we get the Julia one this week. To hype up the match. I like it.
My thoughts are I was smiling and it worked, and I hated myself because I was smiling and it worked. It was. I mean, dude, when it comes to vignettes and promo vignettes, WWE is second to none when they do those.
Yeah, when they nail them, they nail them.
Yeah. I thought it was good there. So what is 2025 for Fraxium? Like we got to do something.
Is OTM will be the ones to dethrone? I don't know.
I don't want OTM. I can't buy them.
I wanted no quarter catch crew. That's
that's what I wanted. I wanted no quarter.
Hopefully they get a rematch.
Yeah, because I know what they're
the Heritage Cup thing. That was interesting. The whole like it feels like there's a setup. Like it feels like it looks like Regal turned on him, but I wouldn't be surprised if they're in cahoots. They're playing Charlie Dempsey. Make it look like he's trying to be the good guy, but he's really gonna like be healed. I don't know.
Yeah, hey, as long as Regal's involved in something, I'm sold. Like
him saying that he wasn't gonna be involved, I'm like, yeah, no, you're gonna be involved.
Yeah, you're gonna be involved. Just say War Games every year, Regal, and just do, and then we're good. We're good. Yeah, he finally said the thing again. We've missed it for like 3 years.
I know.
Yeah, so happy. But yes, I care about the storyline more than I just wish that Heritage Cup rules are just. I don't know. It's just not. I don't get it. I don't buy it.
I'm glad that they're doing this. Like, all right, we're gonna have just one match, one fall to determine who's the real champ.
Right.
I like that.
Yeah.
So they really loaded up New Year's Evil. They because like they added like 3 matches to this show on this one shit. Because so we've got Julia versus Roxanne for the title. We've got a number 1 contender match for the women's North American title between Cora, Stephanie, Kalani, and Lola Vice. Do
you think Fatal Influence is going to have any influence on that match?
I don't think so. They're because they have a 6-woman tag against Shotzi, Gigi, and Tatum next week, as well. No. I'm trying to wonder, like, who's going to win that match? It's not going to be Cora because they're not going to do heel versus heel. That wouldn't make any sense.
I would think Vice would win it.
I think Vice
because Kalani's not going to do it again. I think
Kalani just already lost it, and they're teasing a heel turn for her.
Yeah,
And I don't see Stephanie winning because I don't see they wouldn't want to job her to Fallon Henley right now.
I want it honestly.
Lola Vice actually now that we've gone over, I think Lola Vice makes the most sense to win.
It does, but it shouldn't be Lola Vice at all. She shouldn't be in that match. It should be
it feels like they're actually building toward Gigi challenging her for the title, but it's like
Jada, it should be Jada. I think Jada should be the next challenger for the title.
I think she should deserve a shot. She has it's like because I mean she's already flirted with the world title picture, and eventually she'll probably go back there.
Yeah. And she already had that feud with Lola.
Yeah.
So and she seems like that's the next step in her career is to go after the.
Well, it feels like they're building towards something between her and Red Sinclair because it feels like they're having like No Credit Catch Crew and OTM and her kind of like having beef. So.
Which I'm fine with. I mean, you got enough talent. It's fine. I just think
Red Sinclair, sign me up.
I just think it's too early for Stephanie because as soon as you give her, if she gets a shot, she gonna lose and then what?
Yeah, no. Yeah.
Where's that momentum? So I kind of thought
they've been protecting Stephanie. It's like, I mean, she didn't win the Iron Survivor, but she didn't get pinned either. So it's like,
so I think Lola makes the most sense though.
Yeah. It's like odds are Julia is going to dethrone Roxanne. It's like I know you're not ready.
I'm sorry you broke up there. You said something incorrect though.
I know you're not ready.
I'm ready for the match. I'm not ready for the result. I'm ready for the match.
Not ready. You just want to get over with it so you can
just give her better merch shirts. That's all I'm asking. I finally came out with that red and black.
Finally moves to the main roster within the next few months. That it'll happen.
She has 2 shirts. What the hell?
I mean,
she only have 2 shirts.
I showed you the Julia shirt.
I like the Julia one. And then I look at Roxanne's and I'm like, it's like the same design but just different colors.
They need to spice something up for her.
It's just not. I don't know. Just haven't found the right one.
But although it feels like it's time for the Beautiful Madness, and it's okay. It's okay.
No, it's not.
It's going to be okay.
Oh, it will be when she takes over the main roster.
Yeah, because that's the next step. It's like
it's the next step. It's the next step in her world domination. It's fine.
Yeah. Now the interesting is what's going to happen with Trick versus Eddie versus Oba Femi triple threat. Is Oba going to win the title by pinning Eddie, or is Trick going to escape and then Oba gets his rematch at Stand and Deliver?
I think it's going to be Oba pins Eddie and then Trick says, "Well, you never actually beat me,"
and set up them at Stand and Deliver eventually.
Yeah. Because if you have Trick just pin Eddie, and you're not going to pin Oba, so if you have Trick pin Eddie,
Oba's not getting pinned in this match.
Then it's going to lose a little bit of that story.
I think they definitely want to save that Tony's the only one who's pinned him for the time being as something they can go back to later when he's NXT champion. That Tony can be like, it's like I beat you. I'm the only one who's beaten you. And it's like I can do it again.
It's the Sami Zayn Gunther type thing.
Yeah, exactly.
So. But yeah, no, I mean,
you think both titles are changing, that we getting both Julia and Oba, both winning.
It would make it makes the most sense.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying my tone was for the Roxanne thing, but it makes the most sense, and I really don't want Trick to lose it, but it's time for Oba's reign. Like he should be. And Trick,
he's only been off for so long for him winning the NXT title.
Yeah, and it's Oba's.
Trick is almost ready for the main roster.
He is. He's if he wasn't already, I don't know what else you're going to try and do to make him better. Mm-hmm. Like I think Trick is good to go.
Yeah, so looking forward to. It's going to be it's a very loaded week here. We got the Raw debut on Netflix is loaded. NXT New Year's Evil the next night is loaded. There's things to look forward to. Dynamite. Kenny Omega's going to be back. So next week, it's looking pretty stacked.
Yep. And speaking about things to come, February 1st, live from Indianapolis, the Royal Rumble, and you can check out me and Justin doing a live watch along for said Royal Rumble. And so you can see us freak out when they say his name and he appears. Gotta make. Yeah, okay, one day it's gonna be great. But
no, he's on TNA tonight. So,
hey, yeah, there you go.
I think it was pre-taped.
Yeah, they're always pre-taped. Those they don't. Although I did see it. Didn't TNA just sign another TV deal with some type of sports thing? I forget. I thought they did. Anyway, but we're doing a live reaction so you can see all of us. See me and Justin mark out when certain people appear.
I forgot to say before the show, I got the day off.
Perfect.
For the Rumble. We're free and clear. Won't be working that day.
Awesome. And then you can check us out. Breaking down in 2025, bringing you all the good wrestling content that we can.
Oh, speaking of TNA, well, I was checking out what's going on with TNA while the NXT recap was playing. You're gonna love this. They added Hardy's versus Rascals tag title match for Genesis.
Mm-hmm. That's cool. That's really cool.
Yeah, I thought you would like that.
Yeah. The Hardys and the Rascals. Why hasn't that? Just give it a ladder match, guys. Give it a ladder match. I don't even care if it's the first match. Just give it a ladder match.
Yeah. The show closed with they closed with the women. They had a big 8-woman tag. The babyface one, but then Tessa Blanchard returned again and attacked Jordan Grace again. The other babyfaces were attacked by other heels, including Rosemary giving Master Slamovich a green mist in the face. And then I saw the footage, Tessa used a duffel bag and took the strap and used it to choke drag Jordan out of the arena and she's taking out the trash and said, "I'm taking back my locker room," and then it kind of just did with your feet, right. And then slammed the door on her and left her outside. It was damn.
It is January 2025, so Jordan Grace is not long for TNA.
Yeah, Jordan Grace versus Tessa Blanchard is going to happen at Genesis. That's going to be a hell of a match.
Yep, and that's going to be the last match you see Jordan Grace in TNA.
Probably. That's going to be your swan song.
Yep, which is fine, because then we get Jordan Grace in just when you thought NXT couldn't get... Honestly, Jordan Grace should just go right to the main roster.
She should. Like we said, no, she doesn't need to go to NXT. She put her right on Raw or SmackDown after the Rumble.
No, she's a walking cash moneymaker.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Yeah.
WWE was stupid not to try to snag her.
Mm-hmm. And I'm going to be interesting to see how they do, like we said, with Penta, and how they're going to.
Yeah, I forgot to say that was this vignette. It's people wondering, are these for Penta? Well, as soon as the mask thing, I was like, oh yeah, that's Penta.
Yep.
Yeah, he's coming.
Yeah,
they're putting him on Raw.
Yeah. So if you want to see us react to and break down the Raw after Raw. I was going to say Raw after WrestleMania.
Big debut on Netflix next week.
Yeah,
and New Year's Evil on NXT.
Yep. So we got a fully loaded show to bring you all great content next week on Thursday at 9:00 Eastern, 8:00 Central. You can also check us as we roll out. Tushka and I, we'll still be doing some year-end awards for Fantasy F Around, which will be on Monday. We've got our bracket bitches show because the college football playoffs are going on, and it got crazy because SEC is now technically, well, they're not technically eliminated because
the top four, the 1, 2, 3, and 4 seeds are out.
Yep. So if you had to buy, you went bye-bye. That's basically what happened there. And then obviously we'll do the Rev Sports Wrap It Up. We'll be dropping next week. Will be our debut, our 2025 show there. And then we're also going to do some book clubs and other type of watch-alongs and stuff like that. So subscribe, join us on the Discord down below. Link is there. I think we finally fixed that link. I know we were having some technical issues with people clicking and not being able to join. So I think we've got that fixed. But with a lot of big things for this channel, and it's always a pleasure, Justin, coming in here and talking some wrestling. And can't wait for us to freak out on the Royal Rumble for that watch along. So, all right, guys. Well, always a pleasure, and we will see you all next time. Bye.